with us. She received that in front of the conference yesterday and was read off in the appointments list as officially being appointed to this church. She'd been here and God appointed her to begin with, but you know, we just had to catch up.
Amen.
We just had to catch up.
All right, you're all up here. Yay! I like that. All right. I have a couple things to share with you. I didn't know exactly what all I was going to be sharing. I had something all in my head, and then we went to conference, and I forgot everything. You know, so I was coming to church today, and I go, oh no, it's this Sunday, and I don't know what I have. But I also knew that God had been working on something for me. I'm going to tell you something that I don't think very many of our adults know. You know that? Tuesday is May the 1st. Did you know May 1st is a holiday? It's called May Day. When I was a little girl, I found out that on May Day, it's a holiday that was started in Rome, and they would have a pole, and they would have like ribbons going around it, and they would have a dance around that to celebrate that, and they would have a king and queen elected to come and be part of the May Day celebration, and they would celebrate it. And as tradition would go on, they also began with on May Day, the first day of May, they would create baskets of flowers. They would go out and gather flowers, and they would make a basket of flowers, and then they would go to somebody's house and hang it on their doorknob and knock and run and hide and watch what the people did when they answered. When I found that out, I was so excited. I went out and picked a bunch of my mom's wildflowers. She had some wildflowers that were blossoming, and I would put it in a little basket, and I went out to the neighbors and did that, and that was so much fun. And I did it for my mom as well. So I just wanted to tell you that that's an exciting thing to do, to think about May Day, because it's a celebration of spring and summer and all of the beauty that God has created that's going to grow up. And right now, because of the winter that we've had, we don't have hardly any flowers out. And you might want to ask your mom if you can pick flowers, because she might not want you to go out and pick her tulips or some of those flowers. But you can just check with her. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you that, because that was something that I thought was fun. And I remember it from when I was a little girl. That was a long time ago that I was a little girl. But I still remember it. And when I tell people about it, they say, never heard of it, never heard of it. So I tell them, Google it, you'll find it. It'll tell you all these different things. And so anyways, that's kind of interesting. So today, I want to tell you a story about having breakfast with Jesus. Have any of you guys ever had breakfast with Jesus? I haven't either. I invited to be part of when I had breakfast. You did? All right. You did? Okay. All right. Well, I want to tell you about, there was some disciples, and they were out on their boat, and they were fishing. And back in those days, what they did to fish is they'd have a great big huge net. You know this story? All right, you can listen to it with me. That'd help me if I forget something, okay? They'd have great big nets, and they would throw it over the boat with some people holding on to it, and they would try and scoop in fish, and they did this all night long. They didn't catch anything. This particular night, they didn't catch anything. Not one fish. Can you imagine how you'd probably give up? Because how many of you guys have ever gone fishing? And isn't it a long wait to catch a fish on a pole? I don't like it if I have to fish and not catch anything. I want to be catching it lots. So, anyways, they would do that all night long. Yeah? You can did it? Awesome. So they would do this all day long, and they were coming in the morning, and they were really tired. They were so tired, and they just wanted to clean up their nets, and they wanted to go home and go to bed. If you've been up all night, you want to sleep during the day, right? I do. So, as they were coming in, they happened to look to shore, and they saw me in there. Who do you think it was? Pardon me? That's right, it was Jesus. And he had a fire going, and he saw them, and he said, I want you to throw your nets out on the other side. And I said, and if they were like me, and I didn't catch anything, and Darwin told me to cast out on another side, I'd probably say, are you kidding me? I didn't get anything the whole time. But this was Jesus, and he said to do it. And so they cast their net out on the other side, and guess what happened? They did. The net was so full, they couldn't even bring it into the boat. They had to hang on to it as they came up the shore. And one of the disciples jumped out of the boat when they realized it was Jesus and ran up to shore, so they were up there. And Jesus told them to bring some fish, and they would cook it. He already had some going. But he wanted to make sure that no one left without having food. And so he took and he cooked fish. And they had fish for breakfast. Any of you guys have fish for breakfast? Did you have fish for breakfast? Oh. You had fish for breakfast? You didn't? You had fish for dinner. I like it for dinner, yeah. But you know why I'm telling you this story? Is because I want you to think about it. And sometimes, as you grow, you will learn the voice of Jesus, and he'll tell you to do something. And we need to learn to obey that voice. But it's hard to know his voice, so we have to listen. Because sometimes we think we hear something, we have this thought in our head. That's Jesus telling us to do it, if it's a good thought. Okay? And so we're to follow Jesus. And because they had fish for breakfast, I want to share some fish with you. And we don't have junior church today, but we have the quiet bags back there that have books in it, they have paper, they have things you can color. So you'll be able to sit with your mom and dad and just, or whoever you came with, and just be quiet, because it won't last a long time. But I'm giving you a treat as well, okay? But throw your paper, if you empty your bag, throw it away in the wastebasket, okay? So that Jan and Chuck doesn't have to clean it up, okay? Let's be kind. But let's have breakfast with Jesus and see what God has for us. So I'll pass this along. I'm going to start down on this end, Andy, and then Andrew, and then if I don't have enough, I'll have to go get some more. So you all can have a fish to remember this story with. And remember that Jesus, when we listen to what Jesus says, he gives us much more than what we could have gotten to begin with. Okay, I'll go in the office to get some more. You can go back with your parents now.